Today marks 3 months since I've had my gynecomastia surgery, and today I want to give you guys an update about how the healing process is going so far and what it was like doing a chest workout inside the gym for the first time after my surgery. So like I stated in the beginning of this video, today marks 3 months since I've had my surgery and I couldn't feel any better. As you guys can see here, I'm actually in the gym doing my first full-on chest workout since having the surgery. And one thing I have to know about this current incline bench press I'm doing, I set the camera down thinking that it was far enough away than it actually was, and then I watched it after I'd finished the whole workout and was just kind of like, oh man, that's really close, whatever, it is what it is. As you guys can see here, I am doing a chest workout at the upper chest. I then move into a bench press. I'll leave all the weights that I did for this at the rep and set amount that I did for this particular chest workout. One thing I do want to note that will be different in my experience compared to others when it comes to working out your chest first time fully after gynecomastia surgery is I actually had not worked out for an entire year prior to the surgery and the recovery. It was July, beginning of July, so like July 4th weekend. I actually injured my shoulder and was not able to consistently work out pretty much for an entire year. It was roughly 9 or 10 months. And then I had the gynecomastia surgery, which obviously set me back. So just as my shoulder was healing, I was getting the surgery. So I haven't been able to work out for an entire year. So the weights you're seeing and the reps and sets that you're seeing for this chest workout might not be your experience with gynecomastia. One thing to note about the workout is I definitely felt weak. Whether or not I had not worked out for a year, I will say I felt weak even before when I was doing the light exercises with just the bar or really light dumbbells for like a dumbbell press. I could tell that I did not have the same strength that I did a year ago prior to injuring myself. I felt really unstable with beginning a lot of the movements. As I started to get more into the workout, I got a lot more confident and it felt like I got a lot more stability near the end. I don't know if that was because I was doing workouts on machines where you do have a little more assistance. At the end of the workout, I did push-ups to finish. Easily the worst form of push-ups I think I've ever done, other than maybe when I first started ever working out. And that was because I was just blasted. My chest and arms were just completely done. I kind of went really intense for having not worked out for a year and having been basically really cautious with my exercise during the surgery. So for those of you who are wondering when you can get back into lifting, your surgeon will be the first person to clear you on when you can lift, because they're going to know best what they did, how much they removed, everything that's kind of going on inside. I'm not going to be able to know that. Anyone else on YouTube or the internet will not know that. But if you don't really have any guidance, or you just don't for some reason have contact with your surgeon, the American Board of Surgeons, or whatever, the Association of Surgeons for America, they do recommend 3 months, typically like 2 to 3 months is where you should return to normal heavy lifting. And what I mean by heavy lifting is you're pushing kind of the upper limits of what you can do and kind of what your chest muscles and fibers can really take. And that has a lot to do with what's going on underneath with healing and the tiny scar tissue and scar incisions that are like the fibers that are actually reconnecting and healing inside your chest. So like I said, your surgeon will know best. They'll clear you on when they believe it's best for you to go back to light exercises and then heavy exercises. And like I said, what you can kind of expect, my experience is a little different than most. Most of you aren't going to go into the surgery having not worked out for 9 to 10 months prior, but there might be some of you who have never really worked out prior. And in that case, your experience will probably be similar to mine. And that is just that you're going to feel extremely weak. The weight you were able to do prior, most likely it might take you a few weeks to get back up to that weight. that you were at prior, whatever your 1 rep max is, if that's something you focus on when it comes to things like the bench press or your dumbbell press. So you will see a degradation or a loss in your overall strength and the stability. The proof in how and where my strength is at was definitely in the push-ups, because as you could see in the push-up, I had really bad form, and I really started to let my hips dip, and you could just tell overall I really wasn't having good form, good motion, range of motion with my arms. It looked really sloppy, and when I was doing the push-ups, I could tell it felt immediately sloppy. Like, I did the first one and I kind of was like, is this a mistake to do this much? In the end, I mean, who knows? I'm just excited to be back in the gym. So let me give you an update, show you guys kind of what's going on underneath the shirt and what my chest looks like at 3 months. So here we are 3 months after the surgery. My chest feels really good. As you can see, the nipples are pretty flat and doing well. That incision, that indent I had kind of talked about prior, is definitely going away the more they heal. I know some of that had to do with the swelling that was still going on and just the fact that the scar was so fresh and new. Over here, the discoloration is definitely starting to fade a lot more. You can still clearly see it. It's not like it just 3 months and it's good. I know a lot of surgeons recommend that it's 6 months, and then 12 months is kind of that totality. 12 months, 1 year is where you will see the final result. And if it's not the result you desire, then you would have to go back to that surgeon and kind of talk next steps. And I think a lot of that has to do not so much with the full healing of the chest. A lot of surgeons say that's actually at 3 to 6 months, more on the 6 month side, that the fibers underneath will really heal. The 12 months is more just kind of for the total fading of the scars, to the point where the incision scars and then the scars here should be to a point where it's near invisible, or what you do have will be what is for the rest of your life if you don't choose to have anything fixed when it comes to pigmentation issues and stuff like that. Because right now, what I'm seeing here, that's not guaranteed this is gonna look like that at 12 months. This scarring and this discoloration and some of the little indent that still exists over here, that still has time to heal, and we'll see what it looks like at 12 months. But yeah, it looks great. It feels great. Like I said, in the chest workout that I was doing, never did I feel strain on my chest, other than the natural strain from weightlifting and hitting weights after a year of not lifting and hitting just a heavier weight set in general and really trying to push myself. I felt the natural pull or strain, soreness that you get from weightlifting. There was no feeling of tightness or soreness or a sharp pain or anything through the area where my gland was removed and where the lipo happened. This felt great. It felt natural and normal. Like I said, it was more just an overall natural muscle fatigue from pushing weights in the areas you would feel from chest. So primarily my chest, some shoulder, minor shoulder, and then triceps, so somewhat in the arms, and then obviously grip, because it had been a really long time since I'd held a bar that heavy. But yeah, feels great. 3 months, it looks fantastic. Some people did ask me about puffiness with your nipples after a certain time post-surgery. Most people who asked the question were not at a point. It was I've gotten questions from 2 weeks up to it's been 2 months. And the one thing I have to say about that, because I did have that, where some days all of a sudden it would look like one's kind of puffy. It was never at the puffiness that it was when I had gynecomastia. It was very, very minor. Like even with the shirt on, if it was a little bit puffy, my chest looked natural. And that has to do with the healing and swelling that's going on. So like some of your indentation you might have is from swelling around your chest, especially if you've gotten lipo, and just the fact that it's a very invasive surgery. And then some of the puffiness might also just be that this area, you gotta think that once the gland was removed, there's now basically kind of like an empty cavity as it like your skin, like the elasticity of your skin like kind of tightens, and that area kind of closes off, that there's a chance for fluid and not blood, but just like fluid to kind of get in there, and because it's helping kind of protect the area, similar to like if you get a bruise anywhere and there's like a fluid that'll come in to kind of help protect the area while it's healing. Same kind of things going on here. So for most people who might have slight puffiness after the surgery, just be patient and know that your body is still healing. There's still swelling, even if it doesn't really feel like it or you've seen a lot of the bruising go. There's still some things going on underneath. Like I said, this surgery is extremely invasive, and even though you might feel great after a few weeks to like a couple months, 2 months, that doesn't mean that there's not still anything going on, which is the same reason why I emphasize, unless your surgeon has cleared you for like your vest or weightlifting, just because you feel great doesn't completely mean you should just get back in and dive into doing whatever at an extreme or high intensity or level, because you don't really know what's going on under here. Your surgeon knows best what they did and how your healing process should go or look, and to know if there's any thing going wrong that could potentially be an issue down the road, or if you're healing well. So I hope you guys liked this video and found it informational. I know I didn't answer any direct questions this time, but I wanted to just cover what it was like first time being back in the gym and how that kind of felt. I know I indirectly answered some questions, but if you guys like this video, leave it some love by hitting the like button, and leave a comment below asking me any questions you have about gynecomastia surgery or the healing process, and I will try and answer them in the comments. And then ones that I feel are pretty common questions that I seem to get, I'll try and answer them in the next update video. And as always, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can get updates on when I'm uploading my next video. Thanks for watching.